Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on Ragnarok Online Origin Classic. My name is Zero and today we'll be talking about a weekly event that happens every Sunday and is one of the most important events in the game itself. It is the Emperium Overrun. Now the Emperium Overrun is one of the most rewarding events that you can get from Ragnarok Online Origin, and it happens every Sunday. It is essentially a full-on action war of Imperium on steroids. There is so much action happening throughout the entire 45 minutes that you really can't leave your seat just because of everything that's happening. There are a lot of players that have never experienced Imperium Overrun prior to Ragnarok Online Origin Classic, so I hope this video helps you out in understanding the mechanics, how you can optimize and better plan for your strategy to maximize the rewards that you get from Imperium Overrun. Now, in Emperium Overrun, you are competing against 7 other guilds in your bracket. Now, this bracket can be randomly shuffled every week, so you will most likely not be facing the same opponents over and over again. There are 27 objectives in total across the map, and they have different importance in terms of points and rewards. There are 15 towns. The towns are, as you can see, the smaller objectives that outline the outside of the map. There are 9 castles, which are in the second layer, and there are 3 fortresses smack in the middle of the map. Each of these objectives contribute for different points. Towns give you 1 point, castles give you 2 points, and fortress gives you 3 points for your final reward calculation. Now, the objective of Emperium Overrun is to 1. Get as many points as possible to climb the ranking for the Emperium Overrun, and 2. Get as many bounty rewards as possible to increase your rewards from the bounty rewards. Now, what is the bounty and what is a bounty reward? There is essentially 2 phases in Imperium Overrun. One is the non-bounty phase, which essentially is most of the time during the event, you will be in the non-bounty phase where there are no other objectives other than which castles you're going for. And the second one is the bounty phase. The bounty phase is the most important windows in the event where random objectives, it can be a fortress, it can be a castle, or it can be a town. There will be multiple of these selected as a bounty castle, and you will need to either attack or defend those bounty castles in order to get additional rewards. Bounty castles will be selected from owned castles. So if you look at the map right now, for example, bounty castles can spawn anywhere on all of these colored objectives, but not on, for example, Fairy Town or Long Spear because they are not owned. Now, if the bounty spawns on your own castle, you have an option to defend or just leave it to be open to be attacked. If it is someone else's bounty castle that they are currently defending, you can opt to attack it. Now, there is a limit of 7 bounties per week, so that means you have to also decide how strong your guild is in your bracket and whether you can optimize your rewards by going for the higher bounties instead of just focusing on the smaller bounties, because they give different rewards in terms of the bounty rewards and also different points. Each bounty castle gives even more points compared to just owning a castle. A bounty town gives 2 points, a bounty castle gives 4 points, and a bounty fortress gives 7 points. During the non-bounty phase, you need a connecting objective to go for another objective. And what that essentially means is you need to own an objective near the one that you want to attack in order to be able to access it. So for example, Easy Moo right now, they can attack Nightingale Castle just because they are connecting. They are right next to each other, but Easy Moo cannot attack Bunny Castle because they do not have a connection. They need to be directly connected to that castle. Now, this limitation is removed during the bounty phase, which means that you can attack any castle or any objective across the map as long as it is during the bounty phase. Bounties will start at 10, 20, and 30 minutes of the event. 1 minute before each of those timings, the bounties selected will be announced to the entire guild so that they know which bounties are available. That gives you about 1 minute to decide your strategy, whether to split your guild up to attack a castle, to split your guild up to defend castles, or to just fully focus on defending. All of the objectives on the map have the same layout. The difference is for the towns, you spawn at the second floor of the map, while for the castles and the fort, as an attacker, you will be spawning on the first floor of the map. That means that towns are easier to attack and harder to defend, just because everybody will be spawning in the second floor, while the castles and forts are easier for the defenders just because of the defender's advantage. In the second floor of each objective, there are 4 points on the map that you would need to capture as an attacker or a defender. If you are capturing the points as an attacker, that means that you are dealing damage over time to your opponent's Emperium, and that will allow you to pressure your opponent, not to mention also gives you a chance to break the Emperium without even needing to enter the third floor. Capturing one of the elements also allows you to respawn directly in the second floor instead of having to come in from the first floor if you die, and that gives you an advantage on the attacker. If you're the defender, controlling the pallet elements outside on the second floor allows you to heal your Imperium over time, and that allows you to delay opponents attacking your Imperium. Taking away the respawn points from the attacker is also very important, because then you are forcing your opponent to come in from the first floor, and that buys you a lot of time to try and defend your castle. There are several strategies that you can use to try and maximize the rewards that you get from Emperium Overrun, but the most common one that a lot of experienced guilds are running is something like this. At the start of Emperium Overrun, you try and own as many castles and fortresses as possible, so that when the bounty phase do come in, you have more easily defendable castles compared to the towns which are harder to defend. Because the bounties are selected randomly, if you have more castles or fortresses, and if the bounties are selected on towards the own castles or fortresses that you have, that means that you are able to maximize your points, because defending those castles and fortresses are easier than defending towns during the bounty phase. During the bounty phase, it is wise to separate your guild into multiple teams, whether to defend or attack, just to be able to maximize the rewards you get from the bounty phase. At the start of the bounty phase, if there are a lot of towns available to attack, and if you don't have anything to defend, you can focus on attacking towns, just because you are warped in directly on towards the second floor, which means that attacking Imperium will take very short time. And if you do that quick enough, you will have time to attack a higher priority castle or fortress with bounty. You can also have your guild leader sent onto a different castle or fortress, so that after your guild occupies a town, they can immediately go towards the castle or fortress, and you will be summoned next to the guild leader with the guild rally skill that is available once every 15 minutes. Now, this guild rally skill is very important, and it will decide the outcome of your Emperium Overrun, so it is best to keep it and use it at the best possible moment. Well, I hope this video was insightful for you in order to maximize the rewards for Emperium Overrun. That is all going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys during the events. This is Zero, signing out. Peace.